informs me that yes, we are live right now, and our guest, of course, is with us already. And what I was saying we have now a leader whose work has transformed industries, empowered communities, and also helped reshape how financial technology serves the people of Southern Africa. And he is, of course, the 2025 ABLA Business Leader of the Year. He's going to explain that to us, Mr. Lincoln Mali Ulau, Chief Executive Officer for Ilisaka Technologies, Southern Africa, and of course, a respected voice in ethical leadership transformation and people-centered innovation. We're talking about a man who got this award, and this award, of course, stands as a testament not only to his strategic brilliance as we know him, but to a leadership philosophy rooted in purpose, humility, and of course, service. Under his stewardship, Ilisaka sibonile that it has strengthened its position as a fintech force committed to financial inclusion and meaningful social impact. And of course, today we go deeper into his journey, vision, and what this moment represents for Africa's evolving business landscape. Lau, first and foremost, I just congratulate you, Mr. Mali, once again, and welcome to Kitnesi Radio. Radio according to you.
Thank you so much, Davani. Thank you for having me. Good evening to your listeners. It's great to be back home and be talking to you on your platform. I thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Lau. I know you are not an idling man. You are very, very busy, and we thank you for making time to be with us this evening. Just tell us, what does receiving the 2025 ABLA, if it is a business leader of the year, personally mean to you as Lau, as a leader, and what does it symbolize for the teams and communities that you serve?
Yo, Tabane, it's been humbling. It was a total shock and surprise. I guess to be recognized as the business leader of the year across the continent is something that I don't think I would ever have imagined. When we work, you don't work for awards and recognition. But I think it's special for me because it gave me an opportunity to tell the Lisaka story. I'd been at Standard Bank for 20 years and loved every minute of the time I'd spent at the Standard Bank Group. And when I left the Standard Bank Group to join Lisaka, all sorts of people asked themselves, what is happening with this man? What is he doing? Where is he going? And so we've been on this journey with hundreds of my colleagues to get to this point. And to get recognition means that finally the Lisaka story can be told, and that those customers who were unseen before can be seen. Those merchant businesses that were unseen before can be seen. And for me, it was particularly special to talk about it on your platform, because maybe 2 or 3 years ago, you were one of the first platforms to open for us with our business day, with Mr. Utabile Sovita.
Sovita, yes, Uchali.
Let's talk about what we're doing, and you gave us that platform. So it's a big thing for my staff. It's a big thing for the people I work with, and for our customers to get this recognition that what we're doing is being noticed across the continent.
Certainly. And yes, Lau, and many leaders describe such awards as affirmation of purpose. And what purpose, mission, or values does this award reinforce for you at the stage of your leadership journey?
I think the first thing is it affirmed a dream I had more than 20 years ago, where I believed that we need financial inclusion. We need our financial system to see people that it doesn't see. And so when I got a call 4.5 years ago from a man called Ali Mazandarani, who's our chairman, to ask me to leave Standard Bank and go on this journey, this was an affirmation that financial inclusion is here to stay and that more is going to happen in this environment. And we can talk about that later as to what you see now in the competitive landscape, focusing on that. The second thing is that there's a big focus on this award around ethical leadership. And again, it's a path I've chosen many years back to champion the cause of ethical leadership. The third thing that it affirmed was this thing of working in our communities beyond what we do in our boardrooms, that we must have an impact where we come from in our communities. And that was a factor that the judges also took into consideration. And lastly, it's about business performance, because there's people who run businesses, just like you run a business and a platform. A lot of people want to be celebrated when they are appointed. I always say, it means nothing. You've just been appointed. What have you done? Do something with the business you've been given rather than celebrating when you start. So when I walked into this business, we were a loss-making business. We had a bad reputation because we were called Net One at the time. We were in and out of courts. We had broken the trust with many communities and customers. Our staff didn't feel that they wanted to work in our environment. And we worked over the last 4.5 years to turn around the business. The business is now profitable. We've bought other businesses and the business is growing, and we're now the largest fintech in Southern Africa. So the award was celebrating all of those things. So I think for me, as I say, it's an affirmation that over the last 4.5 years, this is what is happening. And it means a great deal to come back home and say this to an audience, Yasekaya. Most of the time, I get people asking to have interviews and I always run around. But this one, I'm the one who reached out to you and said, I want to talk about this because hopefully our conversation can inspire a young person who's running a business or somebody working at a place or who's at a university or a school to say, go and do something and achieve. And so that's why I wanted to have this conversation.
And indeed, Lau, I must say that after ndiyiqomile babe baninzi abantu abatsho babanomdla, they want to tune in, they want to listen and watch kule program esinayo namhlanje. You touched on where you are now, eLesaka, and how things were when you started. Abantu bengaqondi into yokubana how can you leave a huge institution like the one that you spent almost all your professional life kuyo. Now, eLesaka has positioned itself strongly in the fintech and financial inclusion space. How does this award reflect the transformation now, the transformation journey eLesaka Technologies has undertaken under your team and your leadership?
I think it positions us well because as we were buying these other businesses, we were building a platform. But you do the first acquisition, people are like, okay, it's that business that was in trouble. Now it buys another business, and then it's rebranded to Lesaka. But it's a Nasdaq listed company. Why is it having an African name? We said because our roots are deep on the African soil. We wanted to call ourselves Lesaka. Lesaka is a South Sotho or Northern Sotho word for Ubhlanti.
Ubhlanti, yes, I remember.
So it's fine. So we wanted to be real about who we are. And people were shocked at that. And we said, fine, we'll keep on doing things. We started growing this business, building teams. And I started recruiting people from many established businesses and said, come, we're building something. Today, we are now spoiled for choice because people are now knocking on our door saying, I want to come. Obviously, in the beginning, it's only those people like Mr. Sovita who came. It's only people who stayed with us, who went through the Net One journey, but were persuaded to stay. And I'm very grateful for those people because we built a business with them.
Yes.
But then people started noticing when we said we're buying a bank. And people like, how can a fintech buy a bank? And we said, globally, that's where the change is happening. That
Yes.
nobody is staying in their lane. You hear ShopRite saying they want to start a bank. You hear Pep saying they want to start a bank. You hear NetBank saying they've bought Ikoka. You hear Capitec saying they've bought WalletDoc. You hear, Revolut saying they are going to come into South Africa. The space is now on fire. And so when I look back to what I wrote almost 20 years ago, saying banking at the margins, and talking about the fact that the vast majority of people in this country are not rich. The vast number of businesses in this country are not large corporates. If you can't do business with that sector of the market, you will not succeed. Now, more businesses have seen that. And so this award has opened up so many other doors. And also what is good is having worked on the continent for many of my 20 years at Standard Bank, the first 4 years here, I could not look at beyond South Africa because we had to turn around this business. But now I have an opportunity to go and do more on the continent. We already have a business in Namibia, we have a business in Botswana, we have a business in Zambia, and we have a business in Kenya. And we want to double down on those businesses and grow our business even more. So the timing couldn't be more perfect. It's also at the time where we've relaunched our brand as Lisaka. We've bought 5 businesses in 4 years, and all these businesses have their own brands and their own history. Now we've put them under one business, under Lisaka, and our theme is where you are. Because our model is that we don't wait for our customers to come to us. We go to customers. The vast majority of my colleagues every day go out, buy his lali, buy his logishin, buy in the city centers and service e-merchants zethu, ezizizipaza shop, ezizitablets, trade and carry, cash and carry businesses, or baya kubantu abadala abamkela indodla as customers. So that's been our journey. And so you'll see less now of Easy Pay. You'll start to see Lisaka. You'll see less of Adumo. You'll see Lisaka, and so on and so on.
Yeah. And now, Lau, what are the new expectations or responsibilities that come with being recognized as a business leader of the year, especially in a sector as dynamic as and demanding as inansika i-fintech? Kuba kujongiwe ngokubana hey unikwe le mbasa ikulo mgangatho iza nemingeni loo nto.
Utata wandikhulisayo wandifundisa uba ungazuthi xa izinto zihamba kakuhle ube lapha emoyeni, okanye into xa zihamba kakubi uzigrumbele phantsi komhlaba. It's always find a way of dealing with izinto and have a sense of equilibrium. So i-recognition yona is important. Yes, celebrations, abantu bayacongratulate nentoni, but it doesn't change the fundamental mission endinayo, the team enayo, to do the things that we want to do. We still want to grow our business. We still want to grow our business in South Africa. We want to grow our business on the continent. There are many competitors that are there now. We must make sure that customers zethu can still see value that we give. Abantu endisebenza nabo must feel that I'm worthy to lead them. Because i-title engaphandle means nothing if ngaphakathi abantu don't say uba you know azange simnyule lo mfo kodwa siyakhokhelwe nguye. Abantu endikhule nabo must still feel uba siyazidla ngalo mfo wasemaSulwini. Ifamily yabo funeka ive uba ndize ngulaa mntu umnye. So ii-awards zibalulekile kodwa kufuneka ziyentloko, akufuneka ngoku aba une-celebrations everywhere. So abantu kudala bendibuza uba iphi celebration, yenza nini celebration? What I did is that ii-celebrations zam zenziwa ngalaa mini, zagqitywa netim yam laa mini. I-award ihamba iibhrantshi zam abantu bafota nayo because yeyabo laa award. My family bakwazi uba nedinara sinayo, then xa ndifika apha eMonti ndiye exhantini ndobulela amaSuthu. Xa ndiye eBhayi ndizaya kumama ndiye nakutata engcwabeni lakhe ndibulele, then ndizilapha kuwe ndazobulela kubantu base-Eastern Cape. Ndigqibile, ayikho enye i-celebration. As xa udlala ikhrikethi uba ubetha 100 unyusa iphini, emveni koko funeka uphinde uqalise iyeza enye ibhola. Uba usacingela 100 uzawubholo. Uba userabhini waskora itry uyacelebrata, izawukhatya ibhola funeka kuphindwe. So ndiyaphinda ndibuyele emsebenzini nto kaDabane.
Kwaku sithetha naye kaloku umnumzana uLincoln Mali. He's the CEO yeLisaka Technologies kwi-Southern Africa. Sithetha ngembasa yakhe ke elapha emoyeni ekuthethwa ngayo ayifumeneyo kumgangatho weAfrika njengeleader ephume izandla kwezoshishino. Siyafunda ke lawu emaphepheni, siyafunda online that iLisaka has been praised for championing undeserved and previously excluded markets. And what role do you believe technology should play in bridging Africa's financial inclusion gap? Because there is that divide.
Mandikwenzele ii-examples msasazi wam. Ekuqaleni Dabane abantu babebhatalwa esigangeni zabo. And we argue that has no safety and there's no dignity. Abantu mabafumane i-grant zabo in the payment system like everybody else. Xa uphangela American kuthunyelwa i-data ethi ubhatelwe imali yakho. It's the same as the grant. You are using technology and data to pay somebody. Then somebody can withdraw that money in an ATM or ayothenga kwa Boxer or Shoprite or Woolies or any place. That's using technology to advance people. Okwesibini, we're now able to lend to people ababengakwazi ukufumana any loans baya komashonisa because banks said asinawuniboleka, you are grant beneficiaries. We said no, we will lend to grant beneficiaries. Now we have 2 million customers. Of those 2,600,000 have a loan with us, and a credit loss ratio is below 6%. Market that it is possible. Abanye bobo bantu xa befuna baye ebranchini to borrow their money, abanye bahlale efowunini bayenze nge-USSD. That's using technology. Bafumana imali yabo, it's there with them in 5 minutes. Siyakwazi ukuvula accounts ezilalini Dabane. Sine-tablet esivulayo, sine-biometrics, sikunika i-card in 5 minutes. That's using technology. We are gone. So all of those things, your technology for technology's sake, it must solve a problem. Masiye kwi-businesses. Masithi umntu une-spaza shop, elokishini relay. Simnika i-POS device, akwazi uthengisa i-airtime, nedatha, nentoni, enze imali for yena. Nabantu bakwazi uzothenga i-airtime nedatha kuye apha elokishini or elalini kuyo. Then sithi kuye